Good evening, everybody, and here we are. Another day's gone by, and it's now 10 o'clock, and the news at 10 with Lynn. So, how was your day? What sort of day have you all had? Let me just refresh my page. Hello, Zita. Nice to see you there. Hi, Jason. Lovely to see you all coming in. So, what sort of day have you had? My title today is much tweeting, upskilling and relaxing with friends. So just hi David, just thought I'd see what everybody else has been up to. Hi Ian. So it's been a fairly relaxing day for me today. Now I'm going to tell you something, too much information coming here. A cold day. Yes, it's very cold here on the Isle of Wight. But I was indoors most of the time, and this morning I spent a long time in a very hot bath. That's the too much information. But while I was in the bath, I was tweeting. And I must be very careful and not drop my phone in the bath. So far, so good. So I did a huge amount of tweeting this morning. Hi, Lucy. Hi, Amber. Twitter is a greatly underused tool, and I am trying to encourage a lot more people to use Twitter, especially for business or events. So vastly underused, and I think it's underused because people don't understand Twitter. I used to think, why is Johnny standing at the bus stop with a jam sandwich? I didn't get it at once. I didn't understand it, didn't see the value in it, and now it's a major part of what I do. It's an amazing tool, and it's getting more and more amazing. Some people were saying, oh, it was losing its appeal, it was disappearing. Hi, Gil. But actually, it isn't. Twitter is just so amazing, and there's so many parts to it. And I picked up a top tip from a top Twitter influencer, let's say, Madeline Sklar. She lives in the States, and she is a top influencer on Twitter. Hi, Sue. And I follow her regularly, and I noticed, or she put out a tweet saying, so I don't know how many of you on here are on Twitter, but if you are on Twitter and you hop over to my profile, let's put my Twitter profile in, shall I? Oh, actually, I'm not on my own profile. I'm on somebody else's because hang on, let's find me. Sorry, folks. I do manage other people's Twitter profiles as well, and I was on somebody else's there. Let's go into mine. Well, let's do a search and see, because anybody, here we go. Let's just get the link. Because anybody who is on Twitter, whoa, where are we? Hang on. Sorry, folks. Dear, oh dear. Hi, Cindy. So we're talking about Twitter at the moment and various things. I've spent a lot of time on Twitter. And this is my Twitter profile. And anybody who's on Twitter, come along and follow me. That's one of my Twitter profiles. I've actually got quite a few, and I manage other people's Twitter profiles as well. But what I found out, for any of you, this is a top tip for any of you using Twitter, that if you happen to look on there, where it was to just say my name, Lynn Blackledge, in the header where you put your name, you are now able to put 50 characters in instead of 25. And so what Madeline Sklar was saying was that you could put different things and on different days in there. Hi, Nin. So earlier on, at the moment, my profile, hi Lisa, at the moment my Twitter profile is saying, my header where I put my name in, it says Lynn Blackledge has had a great networking day. But earlier on, when I got home at tea time, it's about 7 o'clock, I noticed that it was hashtag tea hour. And if you don't know about Twitter, you need to, ask me more about these things. But there are certain Twitter chats, and at 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night, apparently it's tea hour. And I didn't know that, but I discovered it today. Hi, Parita. And so it was a golden opportunity to hop in and to talk about different things, to engage with different people on social media. And so at that time, my Twitter title, because you can now put a lot more characters in, it did say something like Lynn Blackledge is taking part in #TR or something like that, but you can keep on changing it. And I see that's a great thing to do. More people will look and see, hey, what's going on? Hi, Amber. And so at the moment it says has had a great networking day. Tomorrow I will change it and put something else. I'll keep my name there because so people know it's me. But this I'm talking about I'm not talking about in the main part of Twitter. I'm talking about in just where you put your name. And you used to be able to just have your name and just 25 characters. Night, night, Lisa. And now you can put a lot more. You can put 50 characters. And also, of course, Twitter recently increased the amount. They almost doubled what you can put in the chat. So as I say, Twitter, great tool of mine. Great tool that I use a lot, and I'm encouraging more people to use it, getting more people on it, because it's just an amazing thing. You've got Twitter chats, you've got Twitter lists, you've got all sorts of things that go with it. So I spent, as I say, a couple of hours in the bath tweeting away. So I know that's too much information, but I relax when I'm in the bath, and I actually had fun on Twitter. And while I'm doing that, I'm engaging with a lot of other people, because social media is all about engagement. For example, here we're engaging here. Some of you coming in and chatting with me while I'm here, and I do appreciate that. So as I say, I spent a lot of time tweeting. I have also been upskilling. Before I went in the bath, I did what I always do and start my day with watching motivational videos from YouTube. And then at some stage in the day, I listened to some podcasts. And so it's been a day of upskilling, because of course I teach social media, and social media is such a fast moving world. Hi, Karen. Such a fast moving world that you've got to keep up with it. And so, every day I'm learning new things. I follow a lot of the influencers, the world leaders in all these things. So Madeline Sklar is a world leader in Twitter. There are different people. One of the podcasts I was listening to was the Janet Murray. Doesn't matter, Karen, you're better late than never. The podcast I was listening to, and I love listening to her podcast, is Janet Murray. She's a PR specialist, helps you understand press releases and all sorts of things, and getting in the media, getting in front of people. And she interviews an awful lot of experts in different areas. So through her podcast, I found out about Mr. LinkedIn, Mark Williams. So I now listen to a lot of his stuff. But she does bring in a lot of motivational people in different areas. So I love lapping up all that information. Every day's a school day. Always learning something new. I found it really amazing once when somebody got cross with me because I bought somebody from the mainland to do some training. I bought some training to the Isle of Wight to help people. And somebody got cross with me because he reckoned he was the only trainer the Isle of Wight needed. And he reckoned he knew everything, and there was everything there was to know he knew. Sadly, it wasn't the case, and he couldn't see that, if we are upskilling all the time, we can take in information from lots of different places. But, that was his opinion. I agreed to disagree with him. And, that's how it was. But never mind. But I am always looking to upskill. Yes, I'm a social media expert, but I don't know all there is to know, and I never will. And every day, you've been to look at the coaching room today in Evesham. Excellent. So, I'm always open to learning things new, and there's every day in the social media world, there's something new to learn. So that's a lot of what I did today. Now, some of you who were in my broadcast yesterday, You might have been in a daytime broadcast I did at about 4:30 yesterday, or you might have been in my 10 o'clock broadcast last night where I mentioned that yesterday I went to buy my train tickets. Hi, Michael. Because I'm off to do granny duty next week, and it doesn't mean I will abandon all of you, because hopefully by 10 o'clock in the evening I will have got the grandchildren to bed. My daughter and her husband are going away, so I'm going on on a little trip, but I will still broadcast to you. Anyway, I went yesterday to get, hi Debbie, I went to get the train tickets, and if you were watching yesterday you will have seen that I took ages and ages to get down Union Street and down to the station to buy my tickets, and I got there at 4:25. Now that shouldn't have been a problem, and normally it wouldn't have been a problem, except that yesterday they closed the ticket office at 4:20. So I was 5 minutes too late. Hi Mo, and I know Mo was down there sometime yesterday because she said so, but I was not able to get my tickets, and instead of getting in a grump and a rant and a rave, I decided just to amuse my audience with a quick live stream about how the timing wasn't so good. Anyway, I went today, and I have now succeeded in getting my tickets to go and see my grandchildren. And I had a chat, and I said to the lady there, I missed it by 5 minutes. And she explained what had happened. Excuse me, I think I've got something here on my glasses. She explained what had happened. A driver was taken poorly, and it was more important to have a driver than a person in the ticket office. And apparently they're multi-skilled, these people, so they can drive trains and sell tickets and do all of that. And so that was the explanation as to why I couldn't get my ticket yesterday. So there you are. I've explained that one to you, and I agreed. It was perfect. It was much more important for the passengers to get their train going to the right place than it was. And I'm not travelling till next week. It didn't matter. So I have now renewed my senior rail card, and I've booked my tickets. And I was very lucky. Hi, Paul. I was very lucky because I got my my train ticket going up. So it's I've booked going up and coming back. I'm going on the Hover. I'm going up to London and out to West London. And going up, I could get all that way for £13.75, I think it was. £13 something. No, £13.40, I think. That was blooming good. I thought it was good at Christmas. I did it for £12, that journey at Christmas. Thought that was amazing. But today they've got me. This is why I like going into the train station, because they do it all for me. I used to try and research it myself, and then I actually ended up having a disagreement with Trainline, a booking agency. So I now just go down to the station and they do it for me, and they find me the best route and the cheapest price. So I'm going up for £13 something, and I'm coming back for, it's costing me more to come back than it is to go, but not a lot more. It's still only £20, just over £20, which is pretty good, bearing in mind that's on the Hover, on the bus round to Portsmouth and Southsea Station, on the mainline train up to London, and then the mainline train out to my destination in West London. So I think that's pretty good. I had to renew my senior rail card, and by having a senior rail card, that means that my journeys are much cheaper. But even with the rail card and the tickets, I probably paid less than if I'd just ordered the tickets. So that's not bad. And the rail card lasts for a year. So there you go. So that was that. So there I will go next week, but not yet. I'm still island based until partway through next week. My grandchildren are getting very excited and counting the days, and I like to count the days when we get like this. I love being a granny. I love spending time with my grandchildren. I wouldn't like to be a full-time granny at the moment, because I still have a lot of my own things I like to do. But of course I am a full-time granny because I'm always on the end of a phone. I tweet no, I don't tweet them. Sorry, they're not on Twitter. We use WhatsApp for our family. So I don't know. Do a lot of you keep in touch with family online? We don't put the children online, so you won't see them when I'm there next week. You might see a hand in a mixing bowl if we're doing some cooking, which I expect we will be because they love their baking. We might do some gardening. It depends how cold it is. I did ask my daughter if she got any gardening she needed doing. Hi, Mark. Nice to see you. And so, you know, you will see that if we're doing the gardening, you might see a shoe or a hand digging, but you won't see the grandchildren. You'll just see bits of them because, you know, we in our family, we like not to put the children out on their FaceTime. You use with your granddaughter? Yes, I mean we use video, we use all sorts. WhatsApp it is amazing. Mo, we have a group. I have individual WhatsApp chats with the individual children, and then we have a group. We have a group WhatsApp where it's all about family stuff. And sometimes I forget which group I'm in, and I've sent a message to all of them when I only needed to send a message to one of them, and then one of them will remind me that I've got it wrong. But you know, hey ho, it happens. So yeah, so keeping in touch. My grandson, who's 4, he sent me a message today and via Mummy's WhatsApp, and his message was all lots of emojis and things. He wanted to start with the poo emoji. Now, you know, my daughter did say Granny might not like that one the best, which, you know, is quite right. But actually, I hadn't noticed. I noticed all the hearts. He'd put a lot of hearts there and a lot of smiley faces, so I'd concentrated on those. So I hadn't actually noticed the poo emoji. So there we go. But he thinks it's hilarious. But then he's a 4-year-old boy, and he wouldn't he? Very much encouraged by his daddy, I think. There we are. It's what boys do, isn't it? So anyway, you know, so I've got my ticket. So you'll be delighted to know I've got my tickets, or you might not be delighted to know, but my grandchildren are delighted to know that we've got the tickets, and they know what time I'm going to arrive in London next week and how long I'm going to be there. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm planning. I know I shall be doing submitting. Oh yes, absolutely brilliant, Margaret. Yes, to keep in contact with your daughter in Australia. Now, when my son was living in Australia, that's when I became proficient on live stream. Not here on Facebook Live, but I was on Periscope, which is, of course, now you can do Periscope through Twitter. It's the live stream through Twitter. And my son spent about 3 years in Australia. That's Tristan. I think you've been in touch with him, Margaret. And he was there in Australia for 3 years. And he brought me the fantastic pleasure of Australia without me having to fly there. I mean, I would love to have gone there, but never quite got there. And he used to go off and he used to Periscope round Sydney Harbour Bridge and all sorts of delights and things. So it's actually how I got involved with live streaming in the first place. So it's why probably I'm so competent now, because I thought, oh, that's great. Let's give that a try. And it was just a wonderful way of seeing Australia. And I can remember when he was in Australia, and it was New Year, and of course he was in Sydney, and they were hours and hours ahead of us. So their New Year was before our New Year, and I sat here at my flat in Ryde, and I felt like I was at Sydney Harbour Bridge, there in the crowd, because he was scoping all round the crowd. You've got the atmosphere of the crowd, and then I saw all the fireworks, but I didn't have to leave home to do it. It was wonderful. So that's how, it was because of the Australian connection that I got involved in the live stream in the first place. And so then I moved from Periscope across to Facebook. When Facebook Live came out, I decided to come on there, because I naturally have a big audience on Facebook. And they're already there, and people can see when you go live, whereas on Periscope, it wasn't quite the audience that I wanted. Hi Juliet, nice to see you, hope you've had a lovely day. Yes, so as I say, I got my tickets, so I left the station, and of course some of you here on the island will know that Ryde is very hilly, and because I have a bus pass, I decided not to walk right up the hill. I needed to go to White Site to pay. Tristan's ordered his glasses from White Site, which is the glasses shop here in Ryde, and I needed to go and sort the payment out and sort out getting them sent to Tristan because he's not on the island at the moment. And so I needed to go up there, and I needed to be in Yelfs to meet somebody at 4:15. And I thought, well, I'm going to go on the bus, nip into Whiteside, and then walk down to Yelfs rather than walk up the hill. So that's what I did. So nice to see Adrian in Whiteside, because he is, of course, one of my White Buzz members of the network group. And so able to see him briefly, but it was a quick run in and run out very fast because I was running a bit late by this time. And then I spent the rest of the afternoon in Yelfs with friends, very, very relaxing. And it's a friend who normally is in a more, I'm not going to reveal identities, but it was a friend who I normally see in her workplace, so don't have the chance to actually relax. And what was really nice was that it was a really relaxed afternoon. I was actually working with them on their social media and helping them on that, because obviously that is one of the things I do, help businesses to raise their visibility. But we had a lovely, relaxing afternoon. And then bonus at the end of it, they said they'd give me a lift home, which meant I didn't have that cold wait for the bus and the cold walk up from the bus stop, which was really lovely. But before that, when I'd been in Whiteside, Adrian's wife was just going home, and she said, "Oh, are you going home? Would you like a lift?" And I'm just, it's just so nice that these days so many people offer me lifts, and sometimes I take them if I'm going that way, but I wasn't. But it's just so nice that people bother and people care, so it's very much appreciated. Anyway, it was a it was a bit amusing because the car was rather full already, and then Lilac Lil and I had to get in, but never mind, there was a little bit of jiggery pokery and moving things around, and we squeezed in. I managed to I had my lovely thick red coat on, and I've got a big scarf that I was wearing over the top of it because it was cold and I wanted to keep warm, and I managed to catch that in the door and jam the door, but they did manage to get the door. I thought, oh my goodness, what have I done now? But they did manage to get the door open and release my scarf, and and then we were shut and on our way, and I got home without getting cold. That was really, really nice. So and then what have I been doing this evening? Oh yes, I've been having various discussions about social media. Cooked my tea, had some nice fish and vegetables, which I like very much, and then had a couple of phone calls, and then it was 10 o'clock. My goodness, where did the time go? And so, but yesterday, of course, I showed you, those of you on here yesterday, I bought this little book, one amongst other books, and I'm going to read. I've marked 3 little things out of here, so I'm going to be reading regularly from some of these lovely motivational books. And this one is a quote by Marilyn Monroe. Who or what is White Buzz? Oh, Margaret. White Buzz is a network group that I run, and it helps businesses. I help businesses to connect with each other. I help them to raise their profile within they raise their visibility on social media. I've got business books I can lend out. It's a membership group. I started it in 2010, and excellent, Juliet. That's Juliet was White Buzz Fan of the Week. That's something that somehow I set up years ago on the White Buzz page, and it still keeps going there. But yes, so as I say, Margaret, White Buzz, it's a membership group, so there is a membership fee, but it's not massive. It's £15 a month, but within that I deliver a lot of content, but I always give people the chance to try before they buy, to come to a meeting first to see whether they think it's going to be a right fit, or sometimes I meet them for coffee and have a chat about it over a coffee. Hi, David. And we do have a meeting coming up at the White Mouse. We've got a network meeting at the White Mouse in Chale on the 21st of February. And I'm throwing that open as a big meeting for lots of new people. If you want to come along and find out more about White Buzz and what we do and how we connect, Jen, you're more than welcome to come along to that meeting. I'll drop the link. Let's find the link. I should have had it up already, shouldn't I? But I did put White Buzz on the back burner for a little while. When my son came to the island, we went beyond, we were doing a bigger network beyond the island, and we called it All Things Networking, because obviously being beyond the island, you needed something. White Buzz name didn't work for that, but actually now our lives have sort of gone in different directions again, because Tris is now in Coventry doing other things, but we connect all the time. You know, we do a lot of things. We connect with each other. So I decided to go back to using the White Buzz name, and it's been very well received. So let's drop in here. This is the link for anybody who wants to come to the networking at the White Mouse. Click on there, have a look. One of the things too is that some of us, now there's no compulsion to eat, there's no strict rules either. It starts at 7 o'clock, the meeting. If you can't get there at 7 o'clock, come when you can. You don't have to stay to the end. You don't get a bad mark if you come early and leave, or come late and leave early, or whatever. It's a very relaxed and friendly group. I probably will do a bit of, I'll probably do some top tips on Twitter, maybe during the evening, and talk a little bit about what White Buzz is about. The rest of the time is networking for people to chat and get to know each other, because of course, when you build up relationships, that's when people will buy from people they know, like, and trust. So you need to build those relationships, and lots of relationships have had their beginnings in White Buzz, I'm very pleased to say, which I set up in 2010. And so yes, so we're having that a great evening over there. There is a special on the meals. It's on the, I've put it on the page on that, where that link is. So if you want to eat, and you know, if you haven't eaten, or there's a rush to eat before you come, there is a special deal on the meals. And it, yes, Karen, you're right. And so, you know, if you're coming on your own, tell me so that we can, oh, okay. What time do you get back to the island, Margaret? Because I've got to get across from Ryde, and I am sure there will be other people going, so we could possibly arrange a lift. People are very kind about helping each other out. I know, I think Moira, I don't know if Moira's coming. I'm not sure if she's back on the island, but I know she's in Ryde. But we can try and arrange transport if you wanted to come. And it depends what time you're going to be back on the island, because I obviously need to be at the White Mouse by 7, because I don't want to be late for my own meeting. But have a look and see. Let me know. We can talk separately. There will be other meetings. They're not always over in Chale. Usually they're in Ryde or Newport. But I happened to be in Chale meeting somebody, and we decided, I was speaking to the people who run the White Mouse, and we decided it would be great to have a networking meeting over there. But I wouldn't want you to have to rely on buses to get there. I'm sure the group, between us, we will find somebody who can do a lift if you need it. Well, I'm hoping so, because I've got to get there. I may have to ask my mum if I can borrow her car. I'm sure, because she doesn't go out usually at night, so that might be an option. But anyway, just let us know. So anyway, that was somebody else said something there. I'm forgetting. So so that's all about the White Buzz meeting. Oh yeah, and that's right. That was the meeting. But lots and lots of good things have come out of White Buzz. Lots of people have met and made good friends. Lots of people have had good connections for business. We've done some good charity fundraising through the group as well. So lots and lots of good things. A great community, and I'm glad to have re-established it, because that seems to be going down very well. So I'm going to start building it up again. I do have to renew the website, but I need to talk to my other son, who's very busy at the moment, but who's my web developer. So I need to talk to him. Anyway, that's White Buzz. Yeah, no, I'm sure, Margaret, I'm sure that we can organise that. So I will get that sorted, before then. So we'll work something out, and so that would be good. Anyway, this little book, I was just going to read from this little book. This was a book. This is one of the reasons why I didn't get my train ticket yesterday to going up to granny duty, and why I was late at the station, because I stopped and bought some books in number 66, which is a beautiful shop in Union Street. And if you haven't been in it and you live on the island, you really need to go, because it's a fantastic shop with so many wonderful things in there. And in fact, I told them I would go and do a live stream around it, because it got so many beautiful things, and then you could all see what's there and go and make your purchases. Anyway, this one that I've marked for today is a quote from Marilyn Monroe. And I don't know if you all know, but the Lynn part of my name is actually the end of my name. I am also a Marilyn, but mostly go by Lynn. Most people know me as Lynn, and they don't know that actually I'm a Marilyn. But now you do, because I told you. So you've had a lot of interest in your webpage, so thank you for live streaming the events. Oh, that's excellent, Karen. Perhaps I could have a testimonial. I'll point you to where the testimonials need to go. I have Google, so maybe I can get several testimonials, or the same testimonial from you in different places. Because one of the good things, if you are working together and if you get good service from somebody, make sure, if you're a business and somebody likes your service, make sure you get testimonials. I'm telling you now, but I haven't been good at it myself, so I now need to put that right, because you can tell people that you're the best in the world, but really it's if your clients or your customers tell people, it's far more powerful and much more social proof, so catching the testimonials is important. So anyway, back to this Marilyn Monroe quote out of my little Always Look on the Bright Side book. And it says, keep smiling, because life is a beautiful thing and there's so much to smile about. And it's true. I put something, I put a post out about being, I can't remember what it was. It was something about not being negative and being positive. And there's been quite a lot of comments on it. And somebody today put up, oh, well, it's difficult to be positive, or you can't be positive in some negative environment or something. And I just thought, you can. It's up to you. You can decide how you're going to react to something. And so, I want to keep up the positive comments and all the positive remarks, because the more positives you have around, and I know I've practiced it, which is why I'm like I am now. I never used to be as positive, but I've practiced, I've worked hard on it, and you can work on it, and you can be positive lots of the time. You need to move away from negative people. Negative people can really suck your energy. And so once I moved, I got rid of the negative people out of my life, or as much as I could, life improved a lot. Anyway, there's something here. This is a quote from Paulo Coelho. Whoops, I don't think I said that right, but never mind. Nothing in the world is ever completely wrong. Even a stopped clock is right twice a day. And that made a little smile on my face. I thought that was a bit amusing. And this one, positive anything is better than negative nothing. Positive anything is better than negative nothing. And that's a quote from Elbert Hubbard. Hubbard. So eliminate negativity, including family if needs be. Yes, actually true. And in my own family, there is an element of negativity at the moment. So I've just moved away from it, and I'm just homing in on the positives. And so I tell you, this is something that hangs on my kitchen wall, and it says, see, because I surround myself with all these positive things, positive books, positive wall hangings. And this was a calendar that I had in 2012. and it had lots of interesting things inside. And when the year was over, I cut the calendar up, and I have these posted all around my flat. And I got taken it down. This one was on my fridge, but I've taken it down so I can read it to you. But this one hangs over near my teapot. Oh, not teapot. I don't use a teapot. My teacups and my tea. And it says, "Life is like a cup of tea. It's all about how you make it." All right. So, bear that in mind. I thought that was rather fun. I buy myself these little presents sometimes. A lot of them are very reasonably priced, but they do make a difference. If you've got positive things hanging all around, it really does make a difference. And this one, you've got choices as you reach for your dreams. And this one it says positive thoughts. And this calendar was a calendar from 2012. It always believe in your dreams. And it's part of a Blue Mountain Arts collection. And I love the Blue Mountain stuff. And this one, I thought, yes, it's really, it's so true. And this is by Donna Fargo. You've got this moment. You can choose to be happy or unhappy. You can choose what you think, what you say, and how you feel. You can choose to be hopeful or hopeless. You can to respond angrily or cheerfully, to be bored or interested. You've got this day no matter what the weather is like. You can choose what kind of day it will be, beautiful or awful, or somewhere in between. One of the things I say when I go out and it's raining is, it's only rain. What's the worst? You can get wet. So it's only rain. I didn't always think like that. Over the years, I've adopted the much more positive attitude. So where did we get to? You can choose what you will do and what you won't, to give up or give in or go on. You have a choice to do something or nothing, to start now or later. You can choose your attitude about what you're facing. You've got your life. If you're not happy, satisfied, encouraged and hopeful, you're cheating yourself. You can talk to yourself about what you need to do to honour your life. But if you don't turn those thoughts into actions, you're just playing games and giving up to whatever comes to mind. You've got the power to make choices. Your life is a manifestation of the choices you make each moment and each day. When you use this awesome gift to your best advantage, there is nothing you can't do. So, and at the bottom it says positive thoughts. Okay, so I just thought I would read one of those to you today, and a few bits, and just bring that sort of thing out. So there we go. I think that's a lot. I think that's all. Mostly what happened in my day. So anybody else going to share what happened in their day? Earlier on, those of you who weren't in the beginning of the broadcast, I was talking about Twitter and finding lots more Twitter hints and tips and tricks. And so if any of you are on Twitter, can you drop your Twitter names in there so that we're all following each other? Because I think following each other and sharing is caring is a great way to build your audience. Hi, Leslie. Leslie runs a business here on the island, fixing machines, washing machines and dishwashers and things like that. And I hope you've been busy with all your fixings. I don't want everybody's machines to break down, but if they do, this is a man that you need to go to. So hopefully that's that's good. And Leslie, we've got a networking meeting coming up, and I'll drop the link in again for anybody who missed it. Lots and lots of people. I want a big crowd of people there, all interacting and all seeing each other and seeing what everybody does and seeing whether White Buzz is a fit for them or not. But just come and enjoy yourself and meet some new people. Because it's about working together and collaborating. And one of the things I am going to do for White Buzz is I'm actually going to make it a network group where I encourage people to share other people's content. Because it's, if you can share somebody else's tweets, somebody else's Facebooks, and they share in return, I think that's a great way of collaborating and helping each other to get more seen, to raise the visibility. I am working on some things. Yes, you'll be there in thought, Karen, and hopefully we will be live streaming. I did live stream from there the other day. So there's, at one point, I think the signal was very bad out that way, but I think we might be able to do it. We'll have a go anyway and see. And if not, well, then I'll do a report on it. But I need to go live at 10, don't I? Because, you know, I will probably still be over there at 10. So we need to do a broadcast so that the rest of you who can't be there need to join us. That was what did it? Oh, Karen, I don't know if you were there when I was talking tonight. I got in and I was having my tea just after 7 when I had Twitter up on my desktop, and I noticed tea hour. So I don't know if you saw that tea hour. And so I was able to go in there and say things about, you know, Kiva's a lovely a lovely tea shop where I go and have my tea. There was a lot of banter going on in that group as well. And of course, I often use Bitmojis. That's the little caricature of me. I expect a lot of you have seen it when I'll just like to illustrate. I can't do it in the chat here. It won't let me do it in the chat. But you might have seen lots of little caricatures of me. And so into tea hour, I dropped one of my favourites. There's a little one of me going like this, and it's tea he. And so I dropped that in because the girl who was working on that Twitter chat, she was doing lots of jokes around tea. And then I put something in about positivity, and they were using all sorts of fun things around that sort of thing. So wants to share and like their Facebook page, have a comment, and they can follow. Yes, so there we go. Drop your links in, folks, and let's share. But so my Twitter, I'll put my Twitter handle in so you can follow me, folks. Whoops. Hang on. This is my Twitter. And you should know my Facebook because I'm on it here. So let's have a look. Anybody else got Margaret, are you still there? Have you got Twitter? Or I think I'm following you on Facebook. I don't know if you've got Twitter. Don't know anybody else is in there. David, are you still in here? 2 Davids we had in here earlier. Don't know if you're still here because I can't see. Hi, Melissa. Nice to see you. We've been just having a general chit chat about all sorts of things going on. Your Twitter, there we are. Look, there's Karen's Twitter. She's Karen Bourne. Actually, Twitter, Karen, you spelt your name wrong. I think you need to correct the spelling on that. That's probably pushing the keys too fast. I know. Right, Margaret, is it something that you would be interested in doing? Because as I was saying earlier, it is a very, very powerful tool. Very powerful and very quick to get to learn and very quick to understand. People are very scared of it. You know, I have a lot of resistance when I'm trying to encourage people to use Twitter, but it's one of those things you can just do things in an instant. For example, you know, if you're just waiting somewhere a few minutes and you've got to wait for somebody, you're meeting somebody, you can tweet in seconds. And it is so powerful. And you can make loads of connections. I've made loads and loads of connections with Isle of Wight businesses. Much easier to make connections too than it is. Yes. Yeah, well, there you are, Margaret. Come on, if you can get on. Hi, Tina. There's Tina. Tina's using Twitter. Tina, drop your Twitter handles in. We're talking about following each other on Twitter. And Tina, I'll give you a top tip. As you've just come into the broadcast, and I know you use Twitter. I gave this tip earlier, but as you're here now, I'll give it to you because I know you might implement it because you do implement things when I put them out there. In Twitter, you can now extend your name. The name where your name was, it used to be 25 characters, and you can now put 50 characters in. And I was following Madeleine Sklar, who's a great influencer on Twitter, and she said, oh, you can change that every day. So I was changing, you know, I changed it. So earlier I was in tea hour, at 7 o'clock. I was tweeting in tea hour, and I put something like Lynn Blackledge is now joining in tea hour. And then when tea hour was finished, I changed it, and it now says something like Lynn has had a great networking day. So you can change it. And of course, the more times you change it, the more people are looking and thinking, oh, that said something different just now. And on that score, I don't know if you know, and a top tip for Facebook is if you change your header picture, you know, your cover picture regularly, every time you change that, you go into the news feed. And of course, Facebook have changed all the algorithms and things so that you're actually being seen by less and less people. But if you take that top tip, that's why I'm forever changing my cover picture, because every time I change that, I go into the news feed and more people see you when you're in the news feed. Another top tip is to use pictures, and very rarely I try now not to just do text, because people are not opening just writing anymore. Put pictures will be opened, but really you need to get on video or live stream, because that everybody's lapping up the live content. The stats are showing that it's the live streams, the videos that are getting opened, whether it's on Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram or Periscope, or the live tweets in Twitter. You need, if you want to be seen, if you want to raise your visibility, you need to get on video and feel the fear and do it anyway. Lots of people worry about it, but really, right, okay, yes, Karen, okay, that's it. Actually, do you want me to I can find your Twitter handle. I don't know why I didn't do that, because I can do that. Hang on. Whoops, let's just go with it. Sorry, I'm just finding Karen's. Oh, sorry, Karen, I think you might have been right, because I know there was a little issue with the spelling, wasn't there? So you might have been right. I might have to say apologies that I've got it wrong. I think you perhaps were right. Let's put it in and see. There we go. I think that's probably what you put, wasn't it? So my bad. I apologise if I got it wrong. So Tina, what have you been up to today? Tina's my lovely friend who broadcasts on the Island Radio on a Sunday afternoon, and I always enjoy listening to her easy listening program. Margaret is Margaret, who's in here, and I, we met recently. And yeah, so very recent friends. I don't know if you saw, I shared a Facebook page today. I made 30 new friends on Facebook in January. And I think, Margaret, you were in that selection there. So that was interesting. All these things that pop up. So I think, anybody else got anything to share tonight? If not, I shall probably wrap up, because we've been quite a time on here. Oh, and by the way, I am starting to load all of these broadcasts to YouTube. And so let me give you my YouTube channel, so that you can go there. They're not all on there yet, but they, you know, I am slowly uploading them. I have taken now to uploading them each day when I do them, but I've got a backlog. Hi, Peter. I've got a huge backlog of them. So let's find my channel. Here we go. Oh, so wait a minute. How do I? Well, if you go to YouTube and type in Lynn Blackledge, so is that the URL? You will find lots of the recent, or as I say, I'm starting to upload them all. Wait a minute. Hang on. Let's put, I think if I put this in, is this right? Oops, hang on. Let's see if I've got it right. Sorry, this is how not to do it. Beg your pardon. Let's put that in and see. So if I put that in, does that take you to my YouTube channel? Let's see. Let's see if that's right. There we go. Yes, it does. So there we are, folks. You can come in and subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a lot of stuff on there from the past, but now I'm updating and putting these videos up every day. So you can see that the one I did yesterday is there, the one I did the day before, the one I did the day before that, they're all there. So if you want to see them again, you may or you may not. You may have missed them. You may not want to ever hear them again. But hey-ho, so there we go. If you do, there's the link. And it would be nice to see some new subscribers in my channel. I do have another channel. Let me tell you what my other channel, let's give you my, I do have, oh, I can't find it. I have got an Isle of Wight channel, but I can't find it there now. Oh, I know why. Hang on, I think. No, I don't. I'll find it and I will let you have it later because I need to switch over. Hi, John. Nice to see you. I might pop in and see you next week. I'm in your neck of the woods next week, so maybe we could have a coffee because I'm coming up to do granny duty. So, mind you, I might have the grandchildren with me. No, I'll see. I will give you a wave through the window anyway. Yes, John is in my hometown where I was born and bred. Actually, no, I wasn't. I was born in the next town along. But I did live a lot of my time in the area where John is. Yes, so there we go, folks. So that's and I think that's what they call a wrap. So if nobody else has anything to share, then I think we're going to call it a day. And yes, Margaret, so we need to look at helping you with your Twitter so we can have a discussion on that. And it'd be really good if we could get lots more people on Twitter here on the island, because then we could actually be doing a lot of tweeting and sharing out. So that's something I'm working on. Oh, and anybody on the island who doesn't know, tomorrow there's a meeting at the Key Arts Centre at 6 or 7. I don't know. Check back with me because I have to look it up. And on Thursday morning between 7:30 and 8:30, they're explaining a government-backed scheme that the Isle of Wight Council have bought into, and it's to help raise the visibility of Ryde and Newport via social media. And so they're going to be explaining it tomorrow, and it's open meeting. So if you want to come along, just ping me a message, and I'll give you all the correct details. I will be going to both meetings. Obviously, I've got a great interest in the social media and the digital side, helping people with their digital footprint. So I'm going to be at both those meetings. If you can get there, it's worth going and seeing whether it's of benefit to you. There are opportunities to get some help for free because the Isle of Wight Council has bought into a scheme. So that might be worth you having a look and see. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you now. I thank you all for your time and coming in to the broadcast, and I will see you on another broadcast soon. Bye for now.